Good morning. Every day, I try to write 3 pages in here, the morning pages, and I don't do it every single day. Today, for example, I was reading on my phone, made coffee before I started it, and then I was like checking my phone a little bit in between, but I made it through the 3 pages. And I want to just say, like, when you have habits that you're trying to do, even if you're not completing them perfectly, it's still telling you yourself. It's telling you something about yourself and like your mental state. And oh, so sorry that my cabinets are open. It tells you something about your mental state and ability to like be calm, focus, all this stuff. Like, this is showing me that I could use a little bit of work today of just like focusing, being calm, all that stuff, because the 3 pages are hard. But when I'm in a better mental state, I'm more easily able to just like write the 3 pages first thing before anything else. I went paddleboarding and jumped in the bay yesterday, and I wanted my hair curly, so it's feeling pretty gross, but I do like the curls though. But if it looks gross to you, sorry. Okay, I'm almost done with this book, The Journey of Souls. It's literally wild. And I'm hesitant to tell you much about it because my friend, when she tells me snippets about this and there are parts that I haven't read yet, I'm like, that sounds terrifying. But when you read it, it's not that scary. What's very interesting is that the parts that are scary in here about like lives and like individual lives and the spirit world and stuff, the stuff that is scary is just because you don't have the context. So, highly recommend this if you're into spirituality. I'm also reading The Power of Now. And so I grew up Catholic, and then I kind of got away from that, and I was like, I don't know if I believe in anything. And then I was into like the universe and just vibes and like law of attraction and manifesting and stuff like that. And now I feel like these books are kind of showing me what the language I grew up with was trying to explain. So, for example, in Catholicism, there are like just the words like God, sin, heaven, like stuff like that. I mentally like heard those words and had a meaning associated to them, but these books, along with the artist's way and my breathwork experiences, are really helping me to understand what those words actually mean when like the Catholic religion talks about them. And it would be the same with other like religions, at least like Christian religions, I think. And this book does a really good job of explaining that too. Like everything that this book says, it's like it keeps on reminding you these are signposts, not the actual thing. So like the word God is not the actual thing, the word sin, the word like being, all this stuff. It's like they are no more than signposts. It's like pointing you in the direction of which to go and experience for yourself. But the things that religion and these spirituality, like the words are never enough. You cannot describe these things. So, but this is completely unscripted, but I kind of want to just talk about some of the takeaways and thoughts I have about this kind of stuff right now. Granted, this I started over a month ago, and then my brother took it, read half of it when he was going to Hawaii, and now I'm finishing it up. Okay, what am I trying to do? What do I want to say about this stuff? Yeah, so basically, I feel as if I'm starting to actually experience the things that these signposts are describing. And for me, I feel like it is a necessary part of my journey to like kind of go away and come back from certain things as I try on different stuff, and I don't know. Like I don't know. I wanted to explore myself and like more deeply understand the meaning of things. Okay, so this is something I was telling my family yesterday, that the Power of Now talks about, and this is an example of like the signposts. So it talks a lot about how we're in our mind a lot. And when you see a flower, you could say that's beautiful and like appreciate its beauty and like say, oh my gosh, that's beautiful. But that's like it talks about making sure you're actually in your body and actually experiencing the beauty, not just saying, oh, that's beautiful, because your mind kind of translates or like makes that association of flower equals beautiful. Like you can intellectually and logically know that something is beautiful without actually experiencing the beauty of it, which does not need words and like is actually indescribable. So, one interesting thing about this book is it talks about that and like how these days, because of our phone and the constant stimulation and stuff, it doesn't say that exactly, but I guess in the past we were not in our minds as much, and now we're really in our head and like more in that logical place instead of just being. And what does this mean? Or one way that this shows up is in our architecture. So look around at the buildings now versus, I don't know, the ancient times, or going to Rome or something where there's the beautiful architecture with such detail and beauty. Like now the office buildings and stuff are very like, I don't know, built for efficiency and just not beauty. And so this relates back to the artist's way that I did. There was one week that we did reading deprivation. I have a video on that too, but a week where you don't take anything in, like no email, books, whatever, no long gossipy conversations, no TV, whatever. And you give yourself time to just kind of be alone with your thoughts, no spiraling or overthinking. And the book says during this week, you might find yourself painting a wall, rearranging furniture, like getting rid of dead plants. Like you might start making your space more beautiful because you're kind of sitting with this boredom, I guess, but also you're giving yourself space to start thinking of ideas and creating and getting in touch with your inner artist, I would say. And so, same thing on a larger scale, because we're constantly overstimulated. We're not, as a society, creating and being as artistic as we used to be, I guess. I kind of want to find that part. I can't find it. But yeah, something about architecture. You should read this. You should read both of these. Okay, this also talks about how our natural state is this feeling of peace and contentment, and we need to find stillness and just being, and our mind will bring about negative stuff. And basically, like pleasure and happiness always kind of has a crash versus this peace and contentment, our natural state where we're not chasing and we feel this like enoughness. That's our natural state. I don't know. All right. Yeah, I didn't plan this, and also I'm going to go to the gym soon, but I just wanted to give a little brain dump, by the way. I just looked up, and I think I can post podcasts on Spotify for free, and I would like to start doing that, even if it's 10 minutes, little snippets of things. But again, this YouTube is for me taking up space, saying whatever I want. And I haven't created too much in the past week because my parents were visiting, and I actually scheduled out every single post for the past week on my Instagram, which was awesome. So this is kind of my re-entry into expressing myself online and then getting back into the business and stuff. Okay, so I think both of these books talk about fear, and that's a very human mind thing. Okay, so one of my takeaways from this is basically listen to your intuition and go with the things that feel right and do not overthink. I, especially yesterday, was getting really into overthinking, especially when, I don't know, big things happen or when I see my family or take a break or vacation. Sometimes it causes, or I shouldn't say causes, I find myself kind of questioning my entire life. Let's just say that. And like where I'm going and all this stuff. And basically, this is reminding me, do not overthink. Basically, let it happen. And that's a big motto I have right now. Just let it happen. Oh, that reminds me, because Alan Watts has a Let It Happen lecture that I was listening to every day for a bit. Dan Coe, I just reposted this on Instagram, that you should he recommends listening to an Alan Watts lecture for 1 hour a day for 7 days. And I kind of want to do that. And he says it'll kind of open up your mind. I might want to do that. There are so many books I want to read about manifestations and stuff, like Into the Magic Shop, I heard is amazing. Break the Habit of Being Yourself by Joe Dispenza. I've read Becoming Supernatural. This book, Magic, people are recommending. So might read one of those. It makes me want to go to Barnes and Noble. So many things I gotta do. Book flights, return this air conditioner. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go to the gym. Now get my energy up, move the blood around. I think that's probably all I have to say about this. Besides that, also something that will cause more. It talks about how every human is alone in their body and on this earth, more alone than you'll ever feel in the spirit world, even when you have people, friends, family around you. And so if you're feeling alone or lonely, it's kind of a normal part of being human, maybe. Like, we do the best that we can, but overall, being human and with this mind can be lonely and a fearful experience. But that's all intentional. And after we die, it seems like none of those feelings are there. You feel very, I don't know, loved and connected, and the oneness, basically. Because yeah, we feel very separate, like I'm in this body, you're in that body, but in reality, like, we're all one, as you might have heard from people that take mushrooms. But apparently that stuff is true. I feel that after breath work too, which I should do. I haven't done breath work in a while. I know I'm kind of rambling. This is a couch talk. This is crazy. Life between lives. And yeah, he was such a skeptic, apparently, and like a strong atheist. And then all these people came to him, this psychotherapist. Is that what he calls himself? Or just therapist? I don't know. Master hypnotherapist. It says. But yeah, basically, overcome your fear. It's a human thing, and like, We're here to overcome our fear, listen to our intuition. Things will just happen, so don't overthink it. It talks about soulmates and stuff, like how you'll kind of know and you'll get signs that like people are the right people in your life. And things don't just happen, like they're planned out beforehand and you chose this life. It's crazy. Okay, not to scare you. I promise it's not scary if you read this whole thing. I might explain it more later. But yeah, I'll turn this off now. I'll talk